po' boys, muffalettas, beignets, and the red and gold. Live from Radio Row, next door to the Superdome, side of Super Bowl 47. It's the Damon Bruce Show on KNBR 1050.
Welcome on back. It's great to be with you live from Radio Row. Niners inventing their own distraction, and I couldn't think of a worse one to come up with. It's something else, and I know a lot of you want to talk about it at 415-808-1050. Let's start with Larry in San Francisco. Larry, you're on the Damon Bruce Show. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Going great, thank you.
That's good. I want to first start off by saying I want to preface my race and say I'm an African-American, and then I want to move forward and say I agree with you wholeheartedly on a part of it, and that is Chris Culliver has to be the dumbest guy going right now. There's no way you even talk about this subject in that vein and feel that way in this day and time. I agree with that. You shouldn't discriminate. They should have all the same equal rights. Where I disagree with you is when you compare it to race. Because when the last time you heard of a closeted African-American? You can't hide it. So I disagree on that.
No. I understand that, and I know look, I was just trying to make the comparison of, how stupid could you get?
Okay.
How stupid could you get? It's the equivalent of, let's say, what's the blackest city in America? Atlanta? Would you agree with that, right?
Yeah, or D.C.
or D.C. What if a Falcon came out? What if Matt Ryan came out and said, I really wish I had more white teammates, certainly less black teammates. I don't do black guys.
I
if he said that in Atlanta, actually, if he said that anywhere, it'd be bad, but it'd be even worse in Atlanta. To gay bash anywhere is bad. To gay bash in San Francisco? Come on, man. What zip code are you standing in?
It is definitely horrific. The second thing is I heard you say that your turning point was that you just liked women. It was really not a choice. And I disagree with that because I can choose to like women or men, and I also can choose to experiment if I wish to do so.
Sure, you go right ahead, but I tell you what, the minute I saw Raquel Welch when I was a little kid come out of that water, that was it, man. When I saw her in that fur bikini in the Land Before Time, I was done. I made up my mind, and it wasn't my mind that made it up. You know what I mean, Larry?
I totally got it. Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you very much. Good talking to you. Let's go real quick to Al in San Francisco. What's up, Al?
Tell Brad Klontz about me, and Chipper has a party. And without Grissom, we wouldn't have won a title. And here's what I say. He may be removed from the team. He may deserve to be removed from the team. My goal is to win a Super Bowl. If Chris Culliver's role in that team is to win a ring, and we need him for that, that's what I care about. I'm sorry, man. Social issues aside, there are things in this world more important than football. But if it's about a championship, that's up to Harbaugh whether he believes they can win it or not without him.
It's a decision that he has to wrestle with today, Al. Always good to talk to you. Thank you. We continue taking your calls. 415-808-1050 is the number. We got the Butcher Boy on hold. We knew we'd hear from you Super Bowl week. Butcher, how are you?
I'm doing great, Damon. I'm a native San Franciscan, fifth generation. I wear it on my sleeve. I think I grew up being very naive to the fact that there are people that still think like this. And you feel like our society has gotten to a certain point that we've looked past, bigotry and racism and things like that. And then to hear Chris Culliver say what he did, and I'm a fan of him on the football field, but I must say, I lost all my respect for this man. I brought a guy, one of my best friends in the whole world, Kevin, and he's a gay man here in San Francisco, and he's forgotten more about 49er football than Chris Culliver will ever know. And it's just very frustrating for me to hear what he said in the nonchalant way he said it, and to think that there are kids out there listening to that, and adults as well, and it sickens me. It really does. And I don't know what the punishment should be, Damon, but he needs to come out and fall on the sword, and even then it might not be good enough. I don't know. I don't know if it's up to me to determine what should happen to him, but I'll tell you this right now. You are dead right when you say a player who talks like that should have no affiliation with San Francisco and its beautiful and glorious history, and he needs to take a look in the mirror because what he said has very, very big impact. And I'm really pissed off today over that. And I'm frustrated that the 49ers as a team and as a community have to deal with this and embrace this weeks and days before the Super Bowl, the biggest game in 18 years. That's just sad. It's sickening and
Again, if you sat me and Larry Krueger down at a bar late night in New Orleans, just like we were sitting last night, and you said, all right, guys, I got a game for you. I want you to come up with the single biggest distraction the 49ers could have right here and now. And I would have come back with something like, and the entire team comes out against the gay community. Or, I would have said something that extreme. But it doesn't take the entire team. It's just one person. And Chris Culliver has made an error, which I think is going to cost him not his future in football, but his future in San Francisco. Couldn't be more tentative than it is right now, right?
I totally agree with you, Damon. And look, I don't care if you're a superstar. I don't care if you're going to help us win the Super Bowl or not. Be a decent human being and realize that what you're saying has impact. And you are dead right with all the analogies you've given today. I'm highly disappointed, frustrated, and I just want something to happen. I don't know what, Damon. And look, let's root for a good game. Hopefully this idiotic statement can get put behind us. But God, it's hard to
again, Chris Culliver either needs to fall on his sword in the most conciliatory way possible, or I don't know how he gets past this. What are the 49ers going to do? Have him incognito at the Super Bowl parade down Market Street? You can't have him on a bus. You can't say this is Chris Culliver's bus. That thing would get egged.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the only thing that makes me think of is deer antler spread. Have a great one, Damon.
Thank you very much. And again, nobody in America had a better day than the guy who is your local deer antler salesman yesterday. He made his whole nut for the rest of the month based on the publicity from yesterday. Pete in Pleasanton, you're on the Damon Bruce Show. How are you, Pete?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
Excellent, thanks.
So I just had a question. How many openly gay football players are there right now in the NFL?
Here's the thing. There is not one openly gay athlete on any team sport in the world that I really know of, with the exception.
Chris Culliver is just being honest. He was ignorant, but he was being honest.
No, because for him to say that a gay player would be absolutely rejected by the entire 49ers locker room, you should not speak for your entire locker room. I'd be willing to wager that a lot of the younger guys on that team, a lot of the older guys on that team have, reached the conclusion that there's no currency, there's nothing to be earned in bashing gay people. There's no plus to homophobia. It doesn't equal, and now today is better if I express my homophobia. Oh, we do? Oh, fantastic. Well, here's a man who loves to get into a juicy topic, and we certainly have one for him. Dan Wetzel of Yahoo Sports, one of my favorite, joins us on the phone. Dan, how are you, man?
Doing well. How are you?
Dan, we're sitting here dealing with a story that literally my jaw hit the floor when I saw about Chris Culliver. This broke on Yahoo. What are your reactions? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I actually discussed it last night on the show, on the Artie Lang show. But yeah, it's it's unfortunate. I mean, I'm not surprised, I guess. I didn't know those particular feelings would be said or anything like that. But it's unfortunate that in the NFL, it's that last frontier where this kind of stuff can get said so casually. But it's just an unfortunate story.
It's really something else.
It's like every bad stereotype of loaded language you could pretty much come up with,
Oh, that's the thing. I mean, he disparaged him, calling it sweet stuff. I mean, he reduced them to the least important members of society and belittled them based on a sexual preference, which, again, if it were 35 years ago, have at it. It ain't.
Yeah, and again, it's like, Artie Lang asked him, and he said he's been asking people that question for 10 years. And it's like, why is the NFL the last place? Why can you have frontline, foxhole combat battle and not, and guys still feel comfortable expressing that opinion? I mean,
yeah.
I'm not going to doubt that people have the opinion, but how would you be so comfortable that you'd be willing to just say it out loud?
I've been using a phrase. That I think is coming to the United States, and what the gay community needs is a gay Jackie Robinson. They need someone to break this barrier. Mathematically, 2 49ers are gay. Mathematically, 2 of every single NFL team's roster is gay. Period.
10,000 college football players, not one is out.
Right,
you know,
right. Or maybe the one who is has a fake girlfriend.
Right. You can't. And you know, it's the NFL level is bad enough, but it's the pressure that it puts down the system of football, so that the high school kid can't feel comfortable, the college kid can't feel comfortable, which are much bigger numbers. And that's even more problematic. I mean, there's only so many NFL football players, but the whole thing's it's just sad. It's sad that we still have to deal with it. It's sad that this stuff gets said. It's sad that it's thought and not said. I mean, again, I don't really know what to say. I'm not stunned. I'm almost not even angry. I'm just sort of like, gosh, you know, when can we just be past all this?
Yeah, no. Again, there's a level of stupid there
Maybe
that
I
you
should
can't
be
practice.
outraged,
You got to be
but-
born with it. Hey, we got to you late here, Dan. We got to get running. It's a huge, big, busy day. Are you going to be down in New Orleans tomorrow?
I am. I'm here. I'll be over. You're at Radio Row right now?
I'm on Radio Row right now. Let's do this
I'll
in
come over
person
tomorrow.
soon. All right, beautiful. We'll talk to you then. Dan Wetzel of Yahoo Sports. We'll circle back with him when we have more time.